Hello everyone, welcome to PUC Online Classroom. So today we are going back to online just because we have problems, so we cannot go to class. Alright, so I would like you to pay attention to this online class, and if you have any questions, please leave questions in our Telegram group chat. Okay, so for those who do not have the contact, or for those who are not in the group, so that you can just drop your phone number, or maybe you can ask your friends, and anybody who knows your friends in the class, please add them in our Telegram group chat. All right, so in this lesson, everybody, we focus on describing problem 1, which is about unit 6. We already talked about this a little bit on Friday last week, and now we have to go through this grammar point. Okay, so as you can see right here, in order to describe problem, we have two ways right here in the book. Actually, we have more than this just because of the lesson, so we just focus on only 2. Okay, so the first one, we have participle as an adjective, and the other one with nouns. All right, as you can see right here, we have participle as an adjective, so they are past participle, but the part of speech is adjective, or they function as an adjective. Okay, so when they function as an adjective, of course, it requires to be, all right, in the front. As you can see, the jacket lining is torn, as you can see right here. So we have to be and verb to be, and that verb to be is an adjective. Okay, the tabletop is damaged. The vase is chipped. My pants are stained. Things like this. Okay. And in the case of leaking, I already explained you on Friday, just because it cannot be, in a passive form. Okay, so it must be in a continuous form, because leaking, at least we see something in the reality. Okay, it should be in an active mode. Okay, not passive mode. So that is the reason it cannot be in a passive one. Okay. And once again, the forms of this is about subject plus to be, and then verb 3. Verb 3 here, the part of speech is an adjective. Okay, so instead of using participle or past participle as an adjective to describe problem, we also have noun as well. Okay, as you can see, we have tone. So instead of using past participle, you can use a tear. Okay, or there is a hole. Okay, there is some damage. Why we use some? Just because damage is uncountable noun. All right, a chip is countable noun, then you can use article. If you have many chips, also fine. Okay, they have a stain. All right, there are a few scratches. It has a leak. As you can see this examples, you will see some kind of 2 different sentences. You can use it has, or you can use they have. So it means singular item, they means plural item. Okay, so again, you can use the subject with noun, like subject plus has or have plus noun. Noun here refers to the problems like a tear, damage. You see that? So we have one form for noun, like it or they, used with has or have, and then you can use with noun. Noun here refers to the problem. Or maybe you can use there is or there are to describe problem. As you can see, there is a hole, there is some damage, as you can see right there. Okay, or there are if there are so many. Okay, if it is plural one, so that you have to use there are. All right. Okay, so for further information about this, I will stick the handout so that you can have it. And if you have questions, once again, go back to our Telegram group chat and leave the questions right there. Okay, so let's go to exercise 3A altogether. Read the comments from customers in the restaurant. Write sentences in 2 different ways using forms of the word in parentheses. Okay, so you can see right here, the first one is an example for you. The tablecloth isn't very clean, and you can use the word given is stained, so you can say it is stained. All right, or it has a stain on it. Okay, so you see that in order to describe a problem, we can have 2 different ways. One, we can use past participle, or we can change that to noun. All right, it is stained, or you can say it has a stain on it. Okay, so let's try number 2, and I just focus on number 2, and then you can do by yourself, and you can check the answers later. All right, Could we have another water pitcher? This one, okay. So the word given is leak, and as I told you, leak can be only in a continuous form. That is an exception. All right, so you can say this one. This here refers to water pitcher. Okay, water pitcher. If you don't know what it is, you can take a look at picture number 2 on in activity B. Okay, so that is water pitcher, but that can be a mug. Water pitcher is something like this, but it's bigger than this one. Okay, so you can say this one is leaking. If you want to use past participle or present participle right here, I'm sorry, because leak is different. So you can say this one is leaking. So if you don't want to use leaking, you can say this one has, because a leak only one. All right, because we don't usually say many leaks. Leak is used as a singular count on, but usually used with only singular. Okay, only one. So you can say this one has a leak, or you can say this one is leaking. All right, so you have 2 choices in order to answer to these questions. Okay, or you can say there is a leak. That is another way, because if you talk about noun, we have 2 forms, one with it or they have or has, and the other one is there is or there are. It depends. Okay, so once again, I will give you 3 possible answers. This one is leaking. That is past participle or present participle because of leaking. And then you can say this one has a leak. This is about has. And another one you can say there is a leak. Okay, there is a leak. So you can have 3 possible ways to answer to this question. All right, and I'd like you to do number 3 to number 6, and we will check the answers later. Don't worry about that. And once you finish part A, I'd like you to go to part B. You need to do the same things, but you have to pick up the right words, as you can see right here. Or maybe you can use more than one. So we have break, crack, damage, dent, leak, scratch, stain, and tear. All right, or tear. But when it comes to noun, you have to say tear. All right, so I want you to use some of this, or maybe all of this. It depends on the problems. As you can see right here, the first one, the car, you can say the car is dented. All right, because look at that, look at the problem right behind the car. Okay, the car is dented. Or you can say the car has a dent. All right, or yeah, as you can see the example, they use the paint is scratched. If you want to describe about the pain. Okay, so you see that you can describe the problem in some ways, but you need to use the ways how we can describe the problems, like past participle or noun. Okay, and you can do number 2, 3, 4 by yourself. Okay, and don't worry, I will give you the answer for this as well. Okay, all right, so let's go to number 4. That is listening. We cannot do it, but I will stick the listening with you so that you can just listen to and write the answer, and then in order to check the answer, I will give you the answer for this. Don't worry about that. All right, it's similar to number 6. This is about conversation as well. We have Ms. Locke and Mr. Burp. So what's going on, or what happened in this conversation? Just listen and try to get the answer for part B. Okay, listen to another tenant calling Miss Locke. What's the tenant problem? So I'd like you to listen to this in part B. Okay, answer to the question. Don't worry, the listening will be provided. Okay, all right, so let's go to number 7, which is about grammar point, the second grammar point in this unit. Okay, so describing problem 2. So the first one, we use past participle and noun to describe problem. And right now we also use, another way or different ways, to describe problem. As you can see right here, we have need and keep. So need plus gerund and need plus need plus passive infinitive, and keep plus gerund. Okay. So what is the difference between need plus gerund and need plus passive infinitive? So actually they are the same, but the difference is only the forms. Okay, so when you say need, we need solution, right? Solution must be met. And when we say keep, the problem is happening. Okay, so we need to fix the problem. Okay, so this is the way how we describe problems, by using keep. But when we use need, we will look for the solution for the problem. Okay, so you can use need plus gerund, or you can use need plus to be verb 3 or passive infinitive. As you can see right here, the oven needs adjusting, and then you can say it needs to be adjusted. All right, why? Because it keeps burning. Okay, things like this. So when you say keep, we focus on problems that is still happening, and we use need to give the solution for this problem. Okay, so whether you want to use need plus gerund or need plus passive infinitive. Okay, so let's try exercise A all together. That is the first example, the walls and paint, and you can say the walls need painting. If you take a look at the picture, it's ugly, right? So we need to take a look at the problems in the picture and describe according to the picture. Okay, you can see the wall needs painting, and then the walls need to be painted, as you can see right here. So you have two different choices. You can use need plus gerund, or you can use need plus to be verb 3. All right, but in part A, everyone, we just use only need, so do not use gerund. Do not use with keep. All right, because keep we use to talk about problems, and need we use to talk about the solution of the problems. Okay, so I'd like you to do number 2 to number 8. Don't worry, I will give you the answer for this as well. And in part number 8, let's say word power electronics, and I'd like you to pick up the right answer for the sentence. Okay, for each sentence, as you can see right here, circle the correct gerund to complete the sentences, then compare with a partner. So as you can see, the first one, my TV screen goes on and off all the time. What happened to the screen? On and off. So it keeps flickering or sticking. It can't be sticking, so the answer is flickering. All right, so I'd like you to do number 2 to number 8 by your own, and I will give you the answers later. Don't worry about this. All right, okay, so I think that's it for today, everyone. And if you have any questions about all of this, just leave the question in our Telegram group chat. Okay, and I will answer to your questions. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.